Swanky schools. You give the Austin Independent School District a ton of tax money every year. Now, State Comptroller Susan Combs is telling school districts to show me the money. She's auditing districts around the state. She says AISD's outstanding debt is at more than $800 million. That translates to more than $9,000 per student. In tonight's cover story, she says when it comes to new construction, there was disturbing waste of your money.
Millions of your tax dollars are used for new school construction. But how school districts spend that money is coming under fire by State Comptroller Susan Combs.
I think the voters should know.
She points to East Austin's new Early Childhood Center as a prime example. It opened last fall to ease overcrowding, touted as a state-of-the-art facility for young learners. But Comptroller Combs says it's a state-of-the-art example of wasted taxpayer dollars.
If I'm the citizen, I want to know that they're actually spending it smart because it's my money.
Based on data supplied by the Austin Independent School District, construction costs came out to $199 a square foot, 33% higher than the average cost for pre-K kindergarten facilities in Texas. She says it's lavish spending for 3- and 4-year-olds that should have been used on their brains and not the bricks.
My point is, we have an obligation to educate our children. That means putting money into the kid and not into the bricks and mortar, but into the kid, into the teachers, into actually the materials, instructional materials, etc.
If you hammer into the numbers, Combs says it gets even more outrageous. The total cost of construction was over $14 million, with 367 students at the time of the opening. That breaks down to a cost of $40,000 per student, which is 93% higher than the state average.
There is waste. Again, I would ask AISD to tell us why they had to spend $40,000 per child at the Anita Uphouse Elementary Center. Why was it so important to do that when you can build it for about half the price?
I did. AISD wouldn't go on camera, but they gave me a statement saying there were additional costs for special access and environmental issues. There were costs for green building and sustainable design, but the comptroller isn't buying it.
So when you get sort of off course and you start building these Taj Mahals for Tots, when you start doing that, then I think you basically ignored your basic mission.
AISD wanted to clarify. It wants to point out that the school is not at capacity yet and it can handle nearly 600 students, which would bring it closer to the state average of about $20,000 per student. But that's down the road. Meanwhile, the comptroller says the construction audits are just beginning. She plans to expose more waste in the coming months throughout the state. For the full report, go to KITV.com and click on My Story.